All right, I'm going to ruffle some feathers here. This is how the mass consciousness live of women. No, I'm not married. No, I do not have kids. However, you don't know my situation of what I deal with on a family basis, what I deal with in my own relationship. Women carry the most load, yes. I understand this when it comes to giving birth and if they stay at home and the man typically goes to work. However, fair exchange needs to happen to be in neutrality. This comment, and I get it comes from a place that you've learned in your belief system, but overall this sits on one side of the emotional spectrum. This is law of polarity. We should never want to be sitting at either end of the emotional spectrum. We should always be wanting to come into a neutral position to see how things really are. Fair exchange needs to happen. This comment tells me that you hold resentment. If you are married, if you have kids and you're making this comment, you have resentment. Where does resentment come from? It comes from having a lack of fair exchange. And this can be applied to any relationship. When we people please, when we abandon ourselves, when we expect someone else to act in the way that we would or we want them to, this is how we create resentment. This is a mentality where most women live in it and they think, well, I have done this, and so the man needs to do so much more, just in this particular instance. No, fair exchange is neutral. And it doesn't mean that it's like, okay, 1 for 1 with everything. This is why we need to sit down with our partners and have a discussion. If I'm bringing home the bacon and you're doing all of this, all right, how are you feeling? Is there resentment there? All right, you're bringing home all of the bacon, you're making all of the money. How are you feeling there? Do you have resentment because you have to do that? Do you even like your job? This is what fair exchange is, in making sure that everyone feels like they are aligned and they're getting their needs met, and there is no resentment or thinking someone has to do something just because it aligns with you.